Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Thursday, September 28th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2017, found only on HCAT TV. Tonight the Panthers host the Norton Lancers in their home opener. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is the color man who knows there's no place like home, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, Holliston survived a tough test to start the season, so it's good to be back at Comedian Field for some home cooking. What can we expect to see tonight?
I think you're going to see tonight, you're going to see a Norton team that likes to run the ball a lot. They like to run the ball between the tackles quite a bit. So if Holliston can control that, they will be in pretty good shape defensively. Offensively for Holliston, I think if they run their spread offense, I think they're going to be able to score quite a bit. But we want to make sure you play a really clean game tonight. That means not a lot of penalties and no turnovers. You do that, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Captain's ready to head out for the coin toss for Holliston. Number 72, junior captain Scott Elliott. Number 53, Alex Kelly. Number 4, Ryan Benko. Number 8, Brad Seymour. And number 34, Ben Thomas. The Panthers come into this game with a record of 2-1, 1-0 in the Tri-Valley League, averaging 27 points a game on offense, giving up 19 on the defense. Their head coach is Todd Kiley in his 14th season with the Panthers, 126 wins against 38 losses. He's 11-1 versus Norton. And Norton comes into this game with a record of 1-2. They are 0-1 in the Tri-Valley League large, and they average 19 points a game on offense. They've given up 38 points in their first 3 games on a per-game average. Their head coach is Tim McCarthy in his 4th season with the Lancers. His record is 18-18. So the Panthers will receive the ball to start the game, and we'll be back with the opening kick in just a moment. And now HCAT's onboard statistician, Carlos Canto, with Los's pregame lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. The Panthers are definitely going to look to get a good start in this one tonight. They've been plagued by a bit of a slow start in their first 3 games. Through 3 games, they've only given up 13 points on defense, but they've only scored 7 points in the first quarter. So Todd Kiley definitely going to look for a stronger performance in the first quarter from these Panthers. Not only tonight, but throughout the season.
Thank you, Los. Back to receive the kick. Number 8, Brad Seymour. Number 3, Mike Nash. Well, there's nothing like home sweet home for the Panthers. They are 41-6, 87% winning percentage since 2009 here at Comedian Field. The opening kick sort of spirals, hits a half bounce, picked up by Kevin Quinn. Quinn is hit as he reaches the 35-yard line, and that's where the Panthers' offense will start 1st and 10.
Well, one thing you can always expect from the Norton team is some tough kids, and they got some good-sized kids and some tough kids down there. I think, though, that, well, of course, Holliston does too, by the way, but I think the advantage tonight is you're going to see is Holliston's speed and athleticism, especially on the outside and in the passing game. And I think you're probably going to see Coach Kiley go right out in this spread offense right away and stay in that for the first few sets of downs.
Holliston quarterback Ryan Benko. Kevin Quinn and Mike Nash split to the left. Brad Seymour and Jake Armstrong split to the right. They go a quick handoff to sophomore running back Dylan Ibbotson for a gain of 2. He's 2nd down and 8.
And right off the bat, Holliston had 2 receivers over here with only 1 defensive back covering them. And be interesting to see how they're going to do that, because they're not going to be able to catch up with Mikey Nash down there with his speed. That safety's not going to be able to keep up with him.
Benko steps away for some trouble, fires to the right, complete for a short gain to Jake Armstrong. To bring up a 3rd down and 5.
That was Benko to number 5, Jake Armstrong.
Armstrong with 3 catches for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season.
The first down marker is at the Panthers 46.
So actually a 3rd down and 6 when they mark the ball. Ibbotson moves to the right. Benko fakes left, throws right to Nash. Nash spins and gets to the 45-yard line, but he's going to be a yard short.
Yeah, and they'll go for it on the 4th down here. Question is, are they going to stay in the spread? And it looks like they're going to go to war offense to get this yard. And the war offense kind of sparked them in the Lincoln-Sudbury game. Kind of picked it up there. And last week in the Westwood game, this offense was prolific.
So 4th and 1. And Henry Naughton, the quarterback, number 11, takes it on the quarterback sneak. Takes it ahead for 5 yards and a Panther first down. Well, the Panthers did the job with the war offense last week against Westwood, beating the Wolverines 41-7. They rushed 43 times for 246 yards, a 5.3 average, 10 different ball carriers for the Panthers in that game. 1st and 10 from their own 45. 9:08 to go in the first quarter. No score. Just underway. Benko hands off to Ibbotson. Tries to find some room around the wide side, right side. Picks up 1. Dylan Ibbotson, 12 rushes for 61 yards and a touchdown. He had a brilliant 53-yard TD versus Westwood last week.
Yeah, and in goes Dwayne Fahey, and he had a really nice game last week himself. He's in the backfield for Holliston.
Fahey had 11 rushes for 44 yards versus Westwood. Fake handoff to number 21, Benko. Benko's throw was a little rushed, intended for Quinn. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, what they're doing is, you see right now, Norton is respecting the speed on the outside of Holliston, and they're playing their safeties back a little bit. And when Holliston sends people deep, that's why you see an opening like they had right there on either side of the flats. They'll have an opening just across the line where the linebackers should be. They're being taken out. So if they can get a ball to somebody there and get some one-on-one coverage, I think Holliston's going to be in good shape.
So 3rd down and 9 for Holliston. Nash and Quinn to the left. Armstrong and Seymour to the right. Benko looks left, comes back right. Intended for Nash, incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th and 9 for the Panthers.
Yeah, interesting. The last 2 passes, for some reason, Ryan Benko kind of short-armed them a little bit and didn't quite reach the receiver. And both times those receivers were open. So he'll get through that and figure out what's going on with the arm motion and get the ball to his receivers, and they'll be off and running. 8:21 left to go in the first quarter. Holliston nothing, Norton nothing.
So Panthers going for it on 4th and 9. 2 receivers to both sides. Benko short roll left, fires, incomplete.
Yeah, it's a flag too.
Right off the, it was a decent throw intended for Nash. He would have been short of a first down. And there was a flag on the play, and that will be declined. So the Panthers turn it over on downs right at midfield. 8:14 to go in the first quarter. No score, and we'll see Norton on offense.
Yeah, what you want to see on Norton on offense is number 12, the quarterback, Elliott. Good runner, likes to run inside the tackles, and McNichols likes to go inside the tackles also.
Yeah, number 12, Tyler Elliott. 14 completions and 27 attempts, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He hands off to number 13, Joe Weber. He's tackled right away after a gain of 2.
Brought down by number 53, Alex Kelly.
Alex Kelly, senior captain, number 53 on the tackle. He leads the team with 16 tackles. Number 24, Mitch Gimblett with 15, and number 55, John Canal with 10 are your top tacklers for the Panthers. 2nd down and 7. Norton just into Lancer territory. Elliott with the fake works his way across the 40 to the 35, and a first down for Norton.
And that's what I was talking about when I said, Elliott's a good runner. He can run, especially he likes running in between the tackles there, and he lets his big lineman open up some gaps. He waits, does a nice job of waiting, reading the blocking, and then he cuts to the hole and makes some good yardage. He's a really good athlete. He's also the kicker for this team, and he kicked a 35-yard field goal against Midfield the other day.
A 65-yard touchdown for Elliott against Medway in the first game of the season. He's under center. Ball at the 35-yard line of Holliston. Turn around the handoff to the fullback. Number 44 spins out of there. That's senior captain Michael McNichols.
And this is what they like to do. You'll see them run no matter what the score is. They'll keep pounding and pounding in the middle of the field like that, and they just have a lot of confidence in those kids. It's kind of like the old-time football, the 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And you're going to see that quite a bit tonight in the whole game. That's what they'll be doing. They'll be running between the tackles.
So 2nd down and 4 for the Lancers. Line up in that double wing formation with McNichol back as the fullback. Try to the option play, and number 53, Alex Kelly with the big tackle for loss.
Well, there was a nice fake by Elliott, but Kelly was having none of that, and he just came in and made the tackle and kind of stopped them. And Alex is a heck of a ball player, plays on both sides of the ball. We've talked several times about how last year he was a running back, and this year he came in as a captain, and he's now a lineman and gave up a lot. And as offensive lineman, but boy, he's back in his role as a linebacker, which he really loves, and he plays so well.
Up front for the Panthers, number 75, Riley McGettigan, number 72, Scott Elliott, number 57, Will Crowley, and number 51, sophomore David Harding. Handoff to number 33, Luke Coombs, and he goes around the right side for a touchdown. And with 5:26 to go in the first quarter, the Lancers are on the board first.
Yeah, that might have been a new wrinkle that the coach put in for this game. I didn't see. I saw the entire Medfield game, and I didn't see any type of option plays at all. And Elliott ran that one to perfection.
So a 30-yard touchdown run. One thing I did notice about Norton is they do have some big play capability.
But most of it's on the ground. They don't really pass the ball a lot.
No, you're right. And we've got a timeout on the field, so we'll take a break.
Timeout, Norton.
All right. Extra point attempt. Norton will line up to go for 2. Elliott looks right. Tried a little slant pass, incomplete. So 5:26 to go in the first quarter. Norton leads the Panthers 6-0.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation here, going for 2. I told you that Elliott, last week kicked a 35-yard field goal. I've seen him kicking. I've seen him practicing. He seemed to look okay. There's no need to go for 2 there, but for some reason they wanted to do it.
Last week the Lancers played Medfield and they lost 55-10. They allowed 382 yards to the Warriors and had 4 turnovers, but that little short field 50-yard drive looked pretty good, Jay.
Yeah, they did look good, and of course the big play was the option that went for the touchdown.
Well, the coaches will talk it over with their defense to get it figured out. We're early in the game.
Well, the other thing is, I think the Holliston players were where they should have been, but you got to make the tackle too.
Spinning kick, bounces up, taken at the 23. Nice little return across the 40 to the 42-yard line by number 32, Dylan Ibbotson.
How many times too has Holliston come out in the years we've seen this? The first set of downs, they kind of look, well, okay, we're kind of feeling them out. Then they come out in that second, third, fourth sets of downs, and they just go down the field and score. So let's hope they can do that starting tonight.
Coach Kiley said after the Westwood game, I'm proud of the way we came out in the second half and stayed focused. The bottom line is these guys grabbed their lunch pails, played some great football against a great team. So 1st down and 10 for the Panthers, ball on their own 41-yard line. Quinn in motion. Handoff to Fahey, right side, big hole. He's got a 1st down into Lancer territory.
I love the way Dwayne Fahey runs. He waits for those blocks to open up. He does a really nice job of that. He's got really good speed. He's very quick, very explosive off the as soon as he gets that handoff, he's going 60 miles an hour right away. And it doesn't take him any time, and very good runner, very strong runner.
And we got a timeout on the field just as one of the trainers was crossing the field. So now they're ready to go. So 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of Norton. Quinn in motion, handoff to Fahey. Picks up 2 or 3 yards. He's 2nd down and 7. Up front for the Panthers on that offensive line, junior captain Scott Elliott, number 72, number 53, senior captain Alex Kelly, number 57, Will Crowley, number 50, junior Sam Lynch, and number 54, Will Soloria. Benko with the fake handoff, rolls right, chased down from behind, and he is brought down for right back at the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10.
And I give that Norton team a lot of credit, Tom. They're doing a really nice job covering the Holliston receivers. I didn't think they were going to be able to cover them that well, and so far they've been able to. You know, the other thing, you talk about that offensive line, and boy, did they come back with a vengeance last week. They really, really played a really good game, and so did the defense. We didn't really talk a lot about the defense last week, but boy, oh boy, to hold Westwood to 7 points, that's pretty good.
Heck, it was an excellent game all around. So Benko looks, fires, complete to Quinn, number 6. He's close to the 35-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. So Coach Kiley will call for his war offense. Brad Seymour, number 8, on one wing. Armstrong on the other, but they just go for the tap and go. And Norton is across the 34-yard line for a Panther 1st down.
That's just pure strength against strength. That's real football right there. You know, 2 guys, one on one side of the ball, one on the other side of the ball, just going at it with it. That's football right there. That's what you'd like to see. 1st down, Holliston.
The Panthers move the chains. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Panthers trail 6-0. Henry Norton, the quarterback, pitches to Seymour off the right side. He's tackled close to the 30-yard line, gain of 4.
Brad Seymour, he's really come into his own. Last week he had a heck of a game, both offensively and defensively, but he's been playing well all year long.
Brad Seymour leads the Panthers with 477 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns last week. This time, Jake Armstrong off the left side, cuts it back up the middle. He's to the 20-yard line, another Panther 1st down.
Well, and you talk about Brad Seymour and Jake Armstrong. He was the other side of that equation, and he had a really good game too. And you got those 2 guys going full speed out of this war offense, you got a lot going for you.
This time they go to Armstrong. Again, fights his way inside the 10-yard line, and another 1st down.
You can teach running and you can teach a lot of stuff, but you can't teach desire. And, you see right there the desire that Jake has. He just didn't want to give up. He wanted to keep running and get that ball in the end zone, and he came one tackle away from doing that.
Coach McCarthy wants a timeout, and we'll take a break. All right, 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Panthers moving the ball, started at their own 41-yard line. And they've got 1st and goal from the 9, just inside the 10.
1st down and goal to go for the Panthers.
Norton takes it himself.
That kind of looked like a broken play. They do run that play along the goal line a lot of times where the quarterback will just take the ball and turn all the way around and keep going. But Henry, he kind of turned around. There was nobody there. So his second turn wasn't quite as explosive as you normally see in a regular play.
2 tight ends come into this war set. Number 43, sophomore Topher Ryan, and number 44, sophomore Connor Mulvaney. Here they go to Armstrong, works his way through the left side, following the block of Soloria. He's got a gain of 4 yards. So it should be 3rd down and goal from the 6.
3rd down and goal.
And they push right ahead with Norton. No signal. Touchdown, Panthers! Well, that one took a little while to percolate, Jay, but it counts the same.
It does. And, you know, right away, you know, Holliston came out, and I told you, right, that the strength of this Norton team, both on offense and defense, is their interior lines. And Holliston came out, and I don't think Coach Kiley liked the way the spread was working, so you know what? Let's put our offensive line in there, let them go man-on-man against these guys, and end up getting a touchdown. Nice job by that offensive line.
Snap, hold, and kick is good. And with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Panthers take the lead over Norton 7-6.
And before we leave that, let's talk for a minute about Mulvaney there. That was a nice kick. And, you know, he's been getting stronger and stronger. I've kind of noticed that as time goes on here. He's getting more accurate, but he's also getting longer kicks. You never know when that's going to be needed.
Well, you just need that confidence, Jay. You know, the connection there. Tomaselli that does the snap, Benko with the hold, you know, Mulvaney with the kick, and especially do it under game conditions when all the blocking and the, you know, everything's flying around you. So he was 5 of 6 last week against Westwood. So Henry Norton with his first touchdown. He is of the season, first of his career. He's the 7th Panther to make it to the end zone this year.
He does a really nice job running that war offense too, Tom.
So that gets the crowd going with a little drop kick Murphys by Andy Porter, the voice of the Panthers. Connor Mulvaney's kick to the right side, taken at the 20, not taken at the 20, covered up at the last second. That came down at the 20. Nice kick by Mulvaney.
That was interesting too. Sometimes when you drop something like that, and as you're running towards the ball, it will bounce in front of you. You can kind of pick it up. That kind of went behind him. That was a nice job by that Norton player to be able to stop on a dime and turn and recover that fumble. Otherwise, Holliston was going to be in good shape again.
You know, one of the things last year, the Panthers beat Norton 27-7 down there. But one of the statistics was Norton's starting drive was their own 45-yard line. They had good field position that game. So they'll be backed up right here as the ball's on the 22-yard line.
And joined tonight by the Youth Football and B-Smart cheerleaders.
So Elliott on the jet play hands it off to number 33. That's Coombs.
Number 33, Coombs on the carry.
Now, you know, I talked about how Elliott in this running attack likes to go up the middle. What you can do in the situation like this is you can take either your outside linebacker or your defensive end, whoever you want to contain. They can contain a little closer in because they will tend to turn up more quickly, and that will help. That will prevent the stretching of the field that just happened there, and also help your linebackers because they're not going to have to travel so far in order to make the tackle.
2nd down and 7 for Norton. This time inside handoff to the fullback.
You know, and in that Medfield game Medfield, you know, you say, well, they won it handily. Well, they kind of did, but, you know, in the first drive of the game, Norton took the ball and just marched right downfield, and they didn't throw a pass or anything. They threw a pass. The kid picks it off, goes back to a pick 6. Next time down, they have the ball. They go down. They have a 4th and 1. They're going 3 or 4 yards right up the middle of the gut and getting all kinds of yardage. And on a 4th and 1, they go outside and they get tackled for a loss. So, you know, that game could have changed pretty quickly.
So 1st and 10 for the Lancers. This time they hand off to big number 44, McNichols. Gain of 3. Get the rest of the starting defense for the Panthers. In the middle, Alex Kelly and John Canal. Your other linebackers, Sean Keese, number 17. And then your defensive backs, number 8, Brad Seymour, number 24, Mitch Gimblett, number 3, Mike Nash, and number 5, Jake Armstrong. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter with the Panthers leading the Lancers 7-6. And it's time for Coach's Corner, brought to you by HollistonFootball.com. All the Panthers all the time. And Jay, the HollistonFootball.com players of the week. Last week versus Westwood.
Brad Seymour and Jake Armstrong.
Yes, Brad Seymour, 111 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns. Jake Armstrong, 61 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Quite a pair there for the Panthers.
Yeah, they're really playing well, the two of them.
Hey, want to give a shout out to the Holliston Panther football history book is out. 700-page tome written by our own Ken Dunn, class of 76. 120 years of Panther football. Come down to Fisk's General Store on October 14th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for book signing. Coach Cato, Coach Kiley, Tom Cato, Hall of Fame coach back from the 70s. Gary Alger, a bunch of players. Hopefully some other coaches. Steve Curley, I think, is going to be down there as well.
Steve, yeah.
And HCAT. So enjoy some Panther football and get your book signed and make a donation to HABA. So 2nd down and 7. They hand it to Coombs off the right side. Yeah, I meant to say the books are $25. And $5 from every purchase is going to Holliston Athletic Booster Association.
Yeah, so whether everybody who buys a book is contributing to Harbor, so want to get down there and buy a book. But even more important, you get to read the stories of all the past history of Holliston football.
And if you can't make it to the event, if you call and buy a book ahead of time, John Paltrineri will hold them aside and get them signed for you at the event. You can pick it up later or ship it to you. So 3rd down and 3 for the Lancers. And they go around the right side for a 1st down close to midfield. So they're running some good misdirection right now, Jay. I missed that.
Yeah,
missed that handoff.
Yeah, they really are, and they're doing a nice job getting to the outside. And, you know, they didn't really show that in the previous games. And the other thing they didn't show was the speed. I mean, they're a little bit faster than they look on TV, I guess you could say.
Aren't we all faster than we look on TV?
We
look pretty
hope.
slow.
We can only hope.
I know we. Let's not go there. 1st and 10 from the Panther 49-yard line. 9:51 to go in the first half. Holliston leads 7-6. Pitches to number 27. Nice job by number 24 of the Panthers. Mitch Gimblett came up to make the tackle.
Mitch had a nice game last week too, and you know, he's really coming on the defensive side of the ball. You know what, though, Tom? They're going to need somebody to come up and make a play here, make a stop early, so that you know, they're not having these 3rd and shorts. $9:15. I'm sorry, left to go in the first half. Holliston ahead 7-6. Norton on the march.
Panthers going to try to stop that march right here. They've got a 2nd down and 8. Elliott back to pass, puts the ball up, and it's incomplete. Coverage by Nash, number 3.
Matt Jumpkins, number 3, Mikey Nash in coverage for the Panthers. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Well, this series versus Norton goes all the way back to 1966, as Norton was one of the original teams in the Tri-Valley League. That game ended in a tie, a 6-6 tie. Norton then beating the Panthers the next year 67 before Tom Cato came and won 4 games against Norton. But then Norton left the Tri-Valley League in 1971, later to return in 2002. The series, this is the 20th game of the Panthers versus Norton. Holliston leading the series 15, 3 losses and 1 tie.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground, scooped up by Elliott. He scrambles, but big scrambling hit by number 53, Alex Kelly, for a loss. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
You know, it was kind of interesting. I saw Holliston they were gonna blitz right up the middle on that play, and you never know what might have happened. But the fact of the matter is, if he didn't fumble that ball and pick that ball up, I think it would have been even more of a loss, because Holliston would have been right in on that handoff.
So 4th down and 10. And Norton is going to set up in to punt the ball. Back for the Panthers, Nash, number 3, and Seymour, number 8. Nice high kick. Nash takes it at the 22, carries it forward to the 30, and that's where the Panthers will start 1st and 10 with 8 minutes and 1 second to go in the first half. Panthers leading 7-6.
Well, Holliston's going to come back out in their spread offense and give it another go with the spread. And I think, I don't know, you know, I told you I thought I saw Ryan kind of short-arming the ball a little bit here. He's a really good passer, and he throws a really nice pass. So, you know, you'll get out of that situation. It's all something mechanical there, and I'm sure the coach has talked to him about it, and he'll open up the offense here again.
Jake Armstrong split wide right of the formation. Benko turns around, quick handoff. Ibbotson, 32 on the carry. Gain of 6.
This offensive line loves to run the ball like every offensive line does, but boy, they really get into it. You know, they get some nice holes, and they get these guys, they hold their blocks and move these people back 2 or 3 steps by the time the running back comes through with the ball.
Snap off of Benko's hands. He covers it up wisely. Going to be a loss of 5 on the play and a 3rd down and 15.
Recovered by number 4, Benko, the quarterback. Brings up 3rd and long. Line of scrimmage at Panther 25-yard line.
Seymour comes in the game now, number 8.
Seymour and Armstrong to the right. Quinn and Nash to the left. Benko scrambles away, drops it to Ibbotson on the screen pass.
This is coming back.
He breaks it away, and
yep. This is really too bad. There's a block in the back here for Holliston, and this is coming all the way back.
And Ibbotson heads to the end zone. It'll be single. Is it signaled? Not even signaled a touchdown because we've got a holding call.
I think what I saw was a block in the back, and there was one guy engaged with a defender. Another Holliston player came up and pushed him in the back, and that's really too bad because he probably would have been past that particular defender anyway.
So after the illegal block, back the Panthers up another 10 yards. That'd be 3rd down and 25.
Meanwhile, boy, did they sell that screen. I mean, they sold that beautifully. That whole line came charging in. And you know, sometimes what that'll do when you get beat like that on the screen, you say, maybe hesitate a little bit the next time you get a chance to go in there, and that gives a quarterback enough time to make a play.
Benko looks left, fires to Nash, crossing the field, spins away from one tackle, and he is across the 35 to the 36. Well, now you've got a makeable 4th down and 4.
Yeah, and they'll go for it here, I'm pretty sure.
20-yard pass play brings up 4th down and 4.
Nice catch by Nash.
In there,
nice throw by Benko.
You can kind of tell there, too, that offensive line did a really nice job creating that pocket around Ryan Benko and allowed him to make that pass.
Benko on the season coming into this game. 15 completions, 37 pass attempts, 257 yards, 4 touchdowns for the senior captain. They throw it to the middle screen to Seymour. He throws away one tackler, and he's got some speed to go towards the inside the 20. Touchdown, Panthers!
That was a remarkable catch and spin and got away from that defender. What a great job, because if he got tackled there, it would have been Norton ball down on this end of the field. What a great job. Another great sell of that screen pass by that offensive line, too. Nice job by Ryan Benko on the pass also. But Brad had to kind of go up a little bit. He made the catch. It came down in the arms of a defender and broke free and ran all the rest of the way for a touchdown.
Extra point attempt is up and good. So with 5 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first half, the Panthers are on the board again and lead the Lancers 14-6.
And if you don't think that the first time they ran that screen stalled that defensive line a little bit, I'm guaranteeing you the second time they ran that screen is going to stall that defensive line a little bit.
So Ryan Benko with his 5th touchdown pass of the season, a 65-yard catch and run. Brad Seymour with his 4th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers have answered that initial TD by Norton.
And the reason they were able to do that, Tom, there's 2 reasons. Number one, they got a coach who will do it, Coach Kiley. And it showed a lot of guts to be able to do that down there, the way that Norton was moving the ball earlier. But even more importantly, he has tremendous faith in his defense, a defense that last week came out and just played a whale of a ball game. And, you know, when you have that, if you're an offensive coach and you have that confidence in your defense, you can do a lot more things than someone who's playing scared.
Well, Holliston rolled the dice there, and it paid off. But the big play, really, Jay, was the one before that, was even bigger. I mean, with a 3rd down and 25-yard line, you needed to make a big completion. And that connection to Benko to Nash did it. This kick all the way inside the 10 by Mulvaney, and he's tracked down by number 9, senior Ben Wolf. Nice tackle. Ben Wolf had a nice tackle last week against Westwood.
Very nice open field tackle coming down. Those guys are going 90 miles an hour in opposite directions. And what's that thing when you're trying to learn mathematics? If a train goes this far and this goes this fast, and who hits what and who does what to who? I mean, that was just a beautiful tackle there.
So 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line for the Lancers. And Elliott hands it off to the fullback. A little quick hitter, but the Panthers hit quick, and no gain on the play.
Now this could end up being a very important set of downs for both of these ball teams right here. If Holliston can hold them down and force a punt, that's going to really put a lot of pressure on the Norton team. If Norton's able to come down the field and score, well, of course, the game will be much closer game, and it won't be that big of a deal. But right here, especially these next 2 downs, the 2nd and 3rd down, really important for Norton.
No, you're right, because Lancers are not in 4-down territory back here. See if the Panthers can pin them down. Elliott looking to pass. Goes deep down the middle, incomplete. Good coverage there by Gimblett. So that brings up 3rd down and 9, Jay.
Yeah, well, that's what they're looking for right here in Holliston. And this is a ball club, this Norton team that, quite frankly, makes their bread and butter by going up the middle and running the ball. And this is a place where Holliston's defense can come up and make a stop and maybe stop them even for a 3 or 4 yard gain. It won't be that big of a deal. Norton's going to have to punt in that situation.
So Panthers are going to have to look for that same screen pass or draw play.
Also, they kind of like going in the flat, or they're kind of like going around the ends once in a while in a situation like this. You can see their spread offense now.
Well, their number 1 receiver is number 8, McKinley Kearson. And that's where the pass goes, and intercepted by Brad Seymour.
And you better give a lot of that credit to Sean Keast. Sean Keast, and Tom, you and I talked about this before the game, and I said a couple guys' names who I thought would have big games, and Sean Keast was one of them. He came in and put some tremendous pressure on that quarterback. He made him throw that ball before the receiver was able to make his turn, went out the receiver's hands, and Holliston was right there. Very athletic, being able to make that catch, recover the ball, on the catch, and run it back. And now Holliston's tremendous position with 4:23 left to go in the first half.
They've got the ball on the Lancer 13-yard line. Didn't see who got in front of that play also, Jay, to put the hit on Kearson before Seymour made his 3rd interception of his career. They've got Benson in, number 27, at the tailback spot, and he gets the ball inside the 5. And he could be close to a Panther 1st down.
Well, when I talked about Dwayne Fahey, I'm going to say the same thing about Tristan Benson. He really does a really nice job in there. He's only a freshman. Got a lot of speed, a lot of explosiveness, and he too is a good runner. The two of them together, with that pair and Seymour and Armstrong, the other pair, Holliston's got a lot of good running backs.
Second down and 1, handoff to Benson, and he's in. Touchdown, Panthers! Tristan Benson with his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers go up 20-6. Well, that was a quick hitting sequence right there, Jay. We talked about the defense needing to hold a quick 3 and out. Even better, they got the turnover, and then Holliston able to punch it right in.
They really did, and even if that ball was caught and it wasn't intercepted, they were going to need to punt.
So the kick is up and good. 3:47 to go in the first half. Panthers strike again, and they lead 21-6.
Now, the great thing about having an offense like Norton's, when you can run the ball that well, is that when you get the lead, you can kill the game. You can sit on the game. You can control the ball, control the clock, control the time of possession, all of that. But the problem is when you get behind, you don't have the capability to come back against a team like Holliston. Now, they're already down 2 possessions, and, Holliston probably going to score at least 1 or 2 more times. So that's a lot of possession they're going to have to take, and they're taking a lot of time off the clock when they're doing that. So what Holliston's got to do here is once again come out, cover this kick well, cover it downfield. Don't let them get anything big, and don't give them the opportunity to come back and score at the end of the half and then get the ball again at the second half.
Well, it seems like the Panthers have taken Norton's best shot, but now Holliston showing their relentlessness. They just don't stop. They go for it. 4th down, they're going to take it down the field one way or the other.
And offensively and defensively, the word of the day with this team is attack, 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 attack.
Mulvaney's kick, a strong one, all the way to the 5-yard line. Brought up on the Norton side of the field. Tackled as he crosses the 20 to the 24. So the Lancers will start at their own 24-yard line. 3:39 to go in the first half. Panthers leading 21-7.
And this is a situation where Norton may try to go outside a little bit. So you want your defensive ends or your linebackers, whoever's job it is to contain, we talked about this earlier, kind of pinch in a little bit and funnel that ball up into the middle where the linemen and the linebackers are going to be and the safeties are going to be to make the tackle. 3:39 left to go in the first half. Holliston up 21-6. Norton with the ball.
Split 2 receivers out to Elliott's left. Handoff to the fullback, McNichols. He spins his way close to a first down, maybe a 9-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Lancers.
2nd down and 1.
Got to control defensively. You got to now control the middle of that offensive line there.
Handoff to McReynolds, or that's Reynolds, Connor Reynolds, number 27. And just enough to move the stakes, so it'll be 1st down.
Dave Burrows, I think Dan Blaney might be over there, Bill Mayer over there, the chain gang do a heck of a job for Holliston year after year.
That chain gang does a good job, and they work and drill hard.
They do.
I remember we came down for the Franklin scrimmage, and Bill Mayer made a mistake, and Coach Kiley had him running laps.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, yeah. Well,
running laps, you got to get in shape.
That's where it is in this life. 2:54 left to go in the half.
So Norton with the ball at their 36-yard line. And that play stuffed up by Elliott, McGettigan, and Alex Kelly.
And I talked about this earlier, Tom, that this ball club, no matter what the situation is in the game, they like to plug along. They like to plug up the middle and just keep going. I mean, at some point here, they're going to have to throw the ball or get to the outside, and Tyler likes to get to the outside, and he's a good runner, the quarterback, number 12.
So 2nd down and 7. Ball at the 40-yard line. Elliott to pass. Looks down the middle. Connects with Junkins, number 35. And he's got a 1st down at the Panther 30. Well, they tried that play 3 times.
Yeah, well, Holliston was right there, and they probably could have knocked the ball down. I don't know if they were looking for the interception or not, but they really could have knocked that ball down fairly easily. It looked like the head turned at the proper time by the defensive back, but wasn't able to make the play, and the Norton player was able to make the catch and get downfield. And the clock's running now with 1:58.
So they split number 8, McKinley Kersley, great basketball player, 10 catches, 215 yards coming into this game, but they hand it off straight up the middle, and that one goes nowhere. Canal and McGettigan on the tackle. Yes, they give him 2 yards.
Clock still running.
Anthony DeZindel at number 10 checks in for Holliston.
Anthony's another one who had a nice game the other night out in Westwood. The whole defense played really, really well.
So watch number 8 split to the left here. Elliott looks left. Chases around the left end. Big hit! And Alex Kelly on the hit.
Yeah, and I think what happened there, that was going to be kind of like a bubble screen, and Henry Norton came right out, and he shot it right there, and he made Elliott pull the ball down and run with it, and then the rest is history.
Kelly lowered the boom on Elliott right there. Gain of 1. We're going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. But the clock is running. There's only 34 seconds to go here in the first half.
They will go downfield here and look for Justin Keese to come off the edge right here. I'm Justin Keese, Sean Keese.
Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. They go to Junkins. Junkins is tackled inbounds with 16 seconds to go. And that it's going to bring up a 4th down, and we've got a timeout with 11 seconds to go here in the first half. Stops the clock on a 4th down and 5. And we'll take a quick break. 11 seconds to go, Jay. They've really boxed themselves into a corner here.
Well, what they didn't want to do is give Holliston the ball back again. And I kind of understand doing that. We talk about this how many times you don't want to give it. But even if you get the 1st down here, you might call timeout. You're still going to have to go down into the end zone. You might want to go into the end zone now. And again, I'd look for Sean Keast right here.
Well, they put 3 receivers to the left. That's where Elliott looks. He goes back to the right. And it's caught out of bounds at the 2-yard line with 6 seconds to go. So they isolated Kersley number 8.
That was
and
really.
They've got a 1st and goal at the 2.
Nice job, and this is where they want to be.
Now, if they're going to run the ball, well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're going to run it.
They've only got 1 run.
I'm sure they're going to run McNichols, probably either McNichols or Tyler up the middle.
Well, they've got McNichols, number 44, right behind Elliott. Turn around, they hand it to, and he's in for a touchdown. So they gave it to Combs on the counter play. Panthers stuffed McNichol on the charge, but it was Lucas Coombs with the ball.
And now we come down to what would seemingly be an important extra point here.
Well, that was a sneaky drive by the Lancers. They're going to line up for 2, but this is pretty important, as right now it's a 9-point game. Don't want to bring it down to a 7, so Holliston defense with a chance to help Holliston go in the locker room with a two possession lead. Elliott in the shotgun. Tries to option it, but McGettigan's having none of it. Throws him down. It's no good. So after the 70-yard drive by the Lancers scores with no time left in the first half. Teams go into the locker room. Holliston Panthers with the lead, 21. The Norton Lancers, 12. And now Los and the halftime lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. The score at halftime, a good one. Holliston with a slight lead in this one, 21-12 over the visiting Lancers of Norton. Pretty tight on the stat sheet as well. 8 first downs for Holliston, 7 for Norton, 168 total yards for the Panthers, 155 for the Lancers. That's 99 yards passing, 69 yards rushing for Holliston, 54 yards passing, 101 yards rushing for Norton. Third down conversions, Panthers are 1 for 5. Norton is 2 for 5. However, Panthers are definitely getting it done on fourth down tonight so far. They're 3 for 4. But Norton hanging in there as well. They're 1 for 1 on fourth down. Individual contributors for Holliston, quarterback Ryan Benko is 5 of 8 for 99 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. The leading rusher for the Panthers so far in the first half was Jake Armstrong. He had 25 yards on 3 carries. Henry Norton and Tristan Benson also have touchdowns in the first half carrying the ball. Leading rusher for the Panthers is Brad Seymour. He's got 64 yards on that 1 touchdown catch that was on fourth down from Ryan Benko. Michael Nash with 2 catches for 23 yards as well. For the Lancers of Norton, quarterback Tyler Elliott, 3 of 6 for 54 yards, no touchdowns. He does have the 1 interception to Brad Seymour. Leading rusher for the Lancers is Lucas Combs. He had a very good first half, 52 yards on only 4 carries, including 2 big touchdowns for Norton. Defensively for the Panthers, Alex Kelly, just a monster first half, 8 tackles, just recorded tackles. Mitchell Gimblett, he's got 3 tackles as well. And, of course, Brad Seymour with the big interception in the first half. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCAT Football. And that's the lowdown.
All right, first half scoring summary. Norton Lancers got on the board first, 5:26 of the first quarter. Luke Coombs from 30 yards out, the first of 2 touchdowns, gave the Lancers an early lead, but Panthers answered right away with a long drive of their own from their own 30-yard line. Henry Norton going in from 1, his first touchdown on the year. Ryan Benko with a 65-yard pass to Brad Seymour after for Seymour's 4th touchdown of the season, Benko's 5th touchdown toss. And then Panthers scored right again on their next drive as Brad Seymour with the interception and freshman Tristan Benson went in from 3 yards out, his 2nd touchdown of the season. And then a long drive that just sort of meandered along with the clock running down. I was sort of surprised at the clock management by Coach McCarthy, but he had just what he needed as Luke Coombs went in with no time left.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well
in the first half.
That did work out very well from that time management. I guess he knew what he was doing down there, but you miss one little play or something, and 6 seconds to go off the clock really quickly. So, but be that as it may, Holliston right now is only up by 9, 21-12. Going to kick off to Norton.
Well, as we talked about last week, you want to avoid that double.
Yeah.
Where a team scores just before the half and then gets the ball to start the second half. So the Panther defense is going to be under the microscope right away. Mulvaney's kick goes down to the 12-yard line. Sicard, number 23, with a nice run back.
Number 23, Sean McNichols on the return.
There's McNichols on the return, but it was a nice one past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, you talked about last year how they had such good starting field position, and here they come out, in the beginning of the second half, and they have it again. It'll be interesting to see now. The Norton team opened it up a little bit on that last drive, and they moved the ball pretty well. The question is, they're going to stick with that, or they're going to go back to the basic that they do so well, of just running the ball up the middle. We'll see.
See how halftime adjustments work for both teams. Coombs in motion. Handoff up the middle to McNichol, number 44.
Picked up by number
Tackled by Elliott, gain of 2.
Gain of 2, bring up second down and 8. Line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line.
Now, Holliston's going to have to really prevent that middle. They got some beef up in there now. They got to prevent that run, but they also got to watch the outsides here.
Hand off to Coombs on the jet play. He makes the right corner and drags a tackler close to a first down. See if he moved the chains.
Looks like.
And they do signal for a first down.
That's a first down by Combs for the Lancers. Down to the 49.
Well, Holliston has had a couple of missed tackles too this game that's cost them a little bit, and you know, they got to come out here and in the second half and tackle a little bit better also.
So 1st and 10 at the Lancer 49. Coombs takes it off the right side.
Oh!
Whoa!
That's what I'm talking about.
That's some tackling.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Number 53, Alex Kelly with the hammer on Coombs after the gain of 3.
Well, if you're looking for a hit, look up the yellow pages, look for Alex Kelly and give him a call because he can do the job.
That's not the first one he's delivered tonight, and that was a big one. So 2nd down and 7 for the Lancers as they move into Panther territory. Coombs is on the left wing.
2nd down.
They go to Coombs on the jet play. He makes that right corner, and he's out of bounds and close to another first down.
And they found something over there that Holliston is not containing over there very well, and they've got to, as I talked about earlier, you know, on this offense that they run, it's in so tight that you can pinch your containment in a little bit, but you can't let them get caught in there either. And if you're able to pinch them in and drive that play more up the middle, that's where the Holliston defense is. But they're getting around on that jet play. That's the second really good run they had on that in this drive.
So 3rd down and 1 for Norton. And Elliott goes right ahead on the quarterback draw. And he gets to the 40-yard line and a Lancer first down. So Norton moving the chains for the 3rd time in this first drive. Slow but sure on the ground.
Well, they can. As I told you about that game against Medfield, you know, their first 2 drives, they did very well, and they just kind of shot themselves on the foot a couple times, and that really hurt them. And once they get behind, of course, you know, it's really tough for them to catch up.
And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. 8:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lancers on their first drive of the second half. 1st and 10 at the Panther 40. Coombs in motion, inside handoff on the counter play to Junkins. Tackle by Gimblett. And Seymour, number 8.
Yeah, Seymour did a nice job. Brad came in there and tackled low, and that's what you got to do is attack there.
But a gain of 4 yards, make it 2nd down and 6.
And you see, Tom, like we talked about earlier, they like to control the clock, and they like to, you know, keep this Holliston offense off the field.
So Panthers got to feel like Norton is in 4-down territory as they trail 21-12. They hand off to McNichol, number 44. Pitch. That was a option play, and the ball was on the carpet but bounced right back up to Coombs.
Well, Holliston's got to figure out something to do on their left defensive side of the ball there. Not quite sure what's going on or what's not going on, but they're able to attack that, and they're attacking it pretty well.
So 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line now. Elliott hands it off to Coombs off the left-hand side, and still a nice push. Hard running there by number 33. So Crowley on the tackle, but not after it until a gain of 7 yards. So Norton's playing like they're running downfield right now, Jay, after they cross midfield.
Well, they're eating up the clock. They're keeping the ball away from Holliston. It's still a two-possession game. They're still 2 scores away. But they are eating the clock up, and they're moving the ball very well.
Second down.
Elliott hands it off to McNichol. Panthers stuff that up pretty well.
Brought down by
John Canal pushed that back along with Harding, number 51.
And if history is any indication here, you can look for the quarterback, Elliott, to sneak this ball up the middle. Now, it is 3rd and short, so, in a four down territory here, it does open up your playbook a little bit. But it looks like they're going to go right up the middle.
Elliott takes it on the keeper.
quarterback keeper.
See if he got enough to move this chains. Need to get one, and
yeah, he got it.
They wave it forward.
And that's a Lancer first down.
So they've gone 50 some odd yards and 5 first downs.
16-yard line.
Talk about your ground and pound.
Yeah, and they've eaten up half the quarter already. There's 5.5 minutes left to go.
So ball at the Panthers 16-yard line as the Lancers make it into the red zone. Elliott goes for the option play. Bounces over a couple of down players and inside the 10-yard line. And Coach Kiley wants a timeout, and we'll take a break. So 2nd down and 2 from the 9-yard line after the nice run. And Norton seems to have everything going for him right here. Panthers got to figure out a way to put a monkey wrench in this Norton Lancer running machine.
Well, yeah, and what has to happen is they have to figure out what's going on the left-hand side of that defense. I talked about a little bit earlier that they're just attacking that, and they found something over there that they like, and they just keep going back to the well.
Second down.
Go to the option play. Elliott keeps it himself. Good leg drive. He picks up enough for the first down.
I think we're going to have a holding call here, and they're going to come back 10 yards. I believe it was holding.
Wait for the referee's signal. Well, there you go. There's the monkey wrench.
Well, yeah.
2nd down and short turns into a 2nd down and 12.
4:55 left to go in this third quarter. 21-12, Holliston with the lead.
So suddenly, little sudden change there, a mistake by the Lancers, and that puts them in a little bit tougher spot right now. They're still in 4-down territory.
And look for that jet play over there. They like to run that jet play. So far, they've run it quite well to their right. Because the other thing is, too, this is a time where you might see something reverse and come on to the other side, over here to the left.
There's the jet play to Reynolds. And he is hit by Sean Keast, number 17. And no gain. So the Panthers hold on 2nd down. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11 or 12.
Yeah, they get 2 more downs here. Now, the other thing is, too, I told you last week, Elliott, who does their kicking, the quarterback, he was able to kick a 35-yard field goal. So, you know, if they get kind of close, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they go on 4th down or if they kick the field goal. But right now, Holliston's got to worry about stopping them on 3rd down.
3rd down.
Well, they put Kersley, number 8, to the left. He's locked up with Seymour. Reynolds in motion. Elliott looks to Kersley. And actually, it was Mike Nash over there with the beautiful defense.
Well, and you can not just defense, you could maybe even look at that as an offensive pass interference, which it's not going to matter anyway because Holliston would decline it. But that was a really nice job passing. And, you know, once again, you're moving the ball down the field, and you know, you have the penalty. That hurts, and now you're going to come back and you can't stay in your passing game.
That stop by Keast, all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe we've gone to the well too many times.
Makes a big dip, but they got to stop him again.
Elliott to back the pass under the rush. Knocked down by Alex Kelly, number 53. And the Panthers take over on down.
And a very intelligent play to knock that down because if he caught the ball and was tackled back there, it would have been a lot further back. Holliston now gets the ball out here around the, what is that, the 17-yard line?
17-yard line.
So nice defense by Alex Kelly. Nice defense by Nash. And the boys picked it up when they had to. And this is what I'm talking about, Tom. I mean, Norton moving the ball consistently, very well, eating that clock. But now you've eaten up a lot of the clock. You haven't put a score on the board. Holliston's got the ball again. If they come down this end and take some time off the clock or whatever and score again, now you're really in trouble.
3:22 to go in the third quarter. Panthers leading 21-12. Finally get their hands on the ball here in the second half. Hand off to Ibbotson.
Ibbotson on the carry.
Nice carry right up the middle, close to the 25-yard line.
That was a very nice block and run by Ibbotson. Nice job by him getting right into that hole and meeting with that middle linebacker and driving him back a little bit.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Go to Ibbotson again. He bounces off one tackler, and he's got enough for the first down, close to the 30. So Holliston, a little ground and pound, move the stakes.
Yeah, and this is important field position for Holliston, and the reason why is because if Norton's going to get the ball back quickly, you want to make them have a long field because it takes them a long time to march down a long field. And a shorter field, obviously, it's less plays, and they can score more quickly. So Holliston wants to be able to get the ball down. Obviously, score if you can, but if you can't, play the field position game and get down back in their Norton side of the field.
Benko looking downfield. He's got a lot of green in front of him. He's going to tuck it and go.
Nice move.
And a nice move. Shake and bake gets by the defender just enough to pick up a Panther first down.
And it was funny when the way that the blocking scheme went and that they drove everybody to Benko's right, and Ryan just looked over there, and that whole side of the field opened up. Talk about your Red Seas. The whole thing opened up in front of him, and he was able to come around and make a nice first down run. Keep that clock running. It's going to be two minutes to go in the third quarter when this ball is snapped.
Ball's on the Panther 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Benko looks right, fires right. I anticipated it just like Jake Armstrong did. He was wide open. I thought that looked like a completion for sure.
Sometimes those are the hardest ones when you're just sitting there and it comes right at you. Believe me, I can tell you that. And when you're trying to catch anything, a football, a baseball, or anything, if you're just sitting there waiting for it and you get a little time to think about it, sometimes those are the toughest ones.
So 2nd down and 10 for Holliston. Hand off to Fahey, number 21. And we got a flag behind the play.
Number 11 Norton on the carry.
Holding against Holliston.
So that'll make it 2nd down and 20.
I think I would deny that. I think I would decline that, to be honest with you. If I was them, I would take the shot of not giving them that extra down, because that play right there, if that was a nice tackle, but it was right at the base of his foot, and if he was able to get by that, if he was able to get by that, he was gone. So yeah, I'd trade the down.
That's the kind of play that's going to work on 2nd and 10 or 1st and 10 or 1st and 20. So 1st and 20 for the Panthers. Benko away from the rush, steps up to the middle of the field, intercepted by Junkin.
Intercepted by number 35, Matt Junkin.
Just didn't get enough air under that ball, and the Panthers turn it over. It'll be Lancers' ball at their own 47-yard line.
Well, they talk about your sudden changes. There you go. Ryan threw that one just a little bit low.
Well, he was running forward. It was a tough.
He was coming forward, and actually, I thought he was going to break out and run.
Well, right, and Armstrong was behind Junkins by a couple of yards.
Yep.
So they hand it off to McNichol up the middle on first down, and the Lancers are held up by the Panthers in a big scrum pile. Gain of 1 on the play. But the clock runs away. Running down, we're under a minute to go in the third quarter. Second down and 9. Hand it off to Coombs, left side.
Nice job.
And whatever they had been finding that left side did not work that time.
Yeah, whatever's been happening, it got closed up a little bit. And this is a big third down. You know, if they can stop them here with no gain, Norton's probably going to have to punt. You know, let's see if they get this play off. There's 20 seconds left in the third quarter. They may just wait and let the clock run out. It looks like that's what the coaching staff is doing over there. So they will. They'll let the clock run out, and the third quarter will end.
So at the end of the third quarter, it's Panthers lead than the Lancers 21-12, and it's time for This Week in the Tri-Valley League. Brought to you by HABA, Holliston Athletic Boosters Association, raising money to support all Panther varsity sports. Get your spirit wear at the concession stand to support Panther Nation today. Well, week 4 in the Tri-Valley League. Starting on Thursday night, everybody plays. The big game, other than this one, is Medfield 3-0 hosting Hopkinton 3-0, a battle of the unbeatens, and Hopkinton leading 14-0 at the half. Interesting. Holliston will be hosting Medfield here next Friday night. Westwood 1-2 hosting Bishop Feehan 0-3. Millis 2-1 at Medway 1-2. Ashland licking their wounds after that loss to Dover Sherburne 1-2 hosting Bellingham, and Dover Sherburne 2-1 host Dedham 1-2. Well, Jay, can you name all the Panthers playing football in college football this year? There's 7 of them.
I'm sure I can, Tom, but why don't you tell us?
All right. Senior Austin Barrett is defensive lineman at Ithaca College. Jack Barrett, his brother, is a freshman at Trinity College. Sam Athey's at Stonehill University. Mark Mulvaney at Tufts University. Sam Ratcliffe at Hamilton College in New York. And then Bentley with Nick Athey and Grant Buchanan. Nick Athey named the NEC 10 Defensive Player of the Week. Elliott on first down connects to number 85. And Gimblett brings them down at the 1.
Well, there was some kind of a blown coverage there because he was just wide open, and Elliott was able to get him the ball in stride, and fortunately, Gimblett got down there and saved the touchdown.
So the Lancers throw a real change-up there with a throw on first down right after the interception as we start the fourth quarter here.
And they're where they like to be. They like to be, you know, on a short field, and it's first and goal at the 3. And you're probably going to see either McNichols up the middle or Elliott on a sneak.
Elliott turns around, hands it to Coombs, and Coombs is in for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
So, 21-18 with a conversion coming up, and Norton takes big advantage of the Holliston turnover. And I may be wrong, but I'm guessing you're going to see Holliston come on the War offense the next time when they get the ball here.
Well, Holliston needs to shake something out. They were successful with doing that in the second half, even in the loss to Lincoln Sudbury, and really established it against Westwood. Three receivers wide to the right. Elliott goes back, fade pass, incomplete. So with 10:31 to go in the game, we're just the second play of the fourth quarter. The Lancers pull within 3 at 21-18.
And that's really important. That's a really important miss there. You know, that's the third time now that they haven't been able to convert. And that's the difference in the ball game right here. And Holliston's got to get the ball. They got to get down and score and get that 2-possession lead back again.
Well, the Panthers have known from this, you know, anytime when they're playing in the Tri-Valley League large team, they're going to be in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Norton's giving them all they can handle tonight. Let's see if they can answer that that turnover that turned into a touchdown. They did one of them. They did it to the Lancers in the first half. Now they've got to bounce back.
Now it's set up for a squib kick. He's not kicking off a tee. So, you know, if he kicks that ball just on one side of the ball, that could be an onside kick. You're going to be ready for anything here.
Goes right down the middle. Taken by Nash. Picks some speed as he crosses the 30-yard line to the 32.
Man, and Holliston is going to go back to their spread offense.
Well, maybe they're going to try to exploit some holes down the field against the Lancers.
You know, the other thing that would work here, that halfback pass off the War offense would work very well right here. So Holliston goes into their spread. Nash in the backfield.
Now they put Mike Nash in at the tailback spot. Bill Nash is at the wide receiver. Handoff is to Mike Nash. And he's right over the center. Will Crowley for a nice 5-yard gain.
Second down, 5. Ball spot the 32-yard line. 5-yard carry on the play. Second down.
Holliston, that offensive line, they're looking to take the game back over again.
So second down and 5 for the Panthers. Banco comes back to the right on the bubble screen. And a nice throw and run by number 5, Jake Armstrong, and a first down in Norton territory.
Yeah, really nice job there. Nice throw by Ryan and Benko, and a nice catch by Armstrong, and really a nice play by the safety over there on Norton. Otherwise, Jake Armstrong was gone.
Turnaround handoff to Nash. Spins away from one tackler. He's into the second level and close to the Lancer 40-yard line.
And Mikey Nash tonight, he's running really hard, Tom. He's running, it looks like he's running with a purpose out there, and he's really, he wants to do some hitting instead of getting hit.
So it'll be second down and 3. Coach Cowley signals in the play.
Second down and 3. The playbook's open.
Dwayne Fahey, number 21, in at the running back spot. Quinn comes in motion. Handoff to him on the jet play. But he's spun down for no gain. Bring up a third down and short.
Defended very, very well over there by Norton.
Well, with the way they've been playing the jet play so many times on offense, I'm sure this Lancer defense saw it in practice all week.
Well, Hunter Murphy over there, you know, he's done pretty well on defense, and he also had the big reception here on offense to get way downfield to set up the third touchdown for Norton.
So third down and 3. Fake to Quinn. Inside handoff to Seymour. Spins away from one defender.
Look at him run.
And he just doesn't stop those legs at all until he hears the whistle blow, and he's down close to the 20-yard line.
That's great.
A big first down there for Holliston.
And that's great balance. We saw that last week from somebody else on the Holliston team. I forget who, but when you're falling forward and you're able to catch yourself with one hand and still keep driving forward for another 3 or 4 yards, that's kind of something special. And nice job, nice balance there by Brad Seymour.
So first down at the 22-yard line. 7:32 to go in the game. Panthers leading by 3. And Benko keeps it himself after the fake to Quinn. It was a nice fake to Kevin Quinn on the jet play there.
I think he wanted that. I think, Ryan, you're a quarterback and you make a little mistake and throw the ball the other team or something, and you want to come back and really do something. And you look at Ryan now, you can kind of tell he's kind of out there fired up a little bit.
And great job by the offensive line, just opening a big hole there for number 4. We're first and goal from the 10-yard line. Benko hands it off to Fahey. He gets caught in the wash over there. Looked like Norton might have shifted when they saw Quinn come across. And
well, that it took a little long for that play to develop. Not quite sure why, but when Holliston does the quick openings, the quick plays, they're able to beat the front line of the defense there for Norton. 6.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. 21-18. Holliston with the ball on the march.
Second and goal from the 13. Fahey steps to Benko's right. Quinn comes across the formation. Fake to him. Benko looks to the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers! Ryan Benko with a 13-yard strike to Topher Ryan, the tight end.
Well, I told you, I think Ryan Benko was very, very comfortable, and he wanted to go out there, and he said, you know what, maybe I did make a mistake, but I'm going to go out and change this whole thing around, take this ball game over, and he did that. He got some nice runs, nice fakes in there, and throwing the ball very well. Nice job by him. Nice catch by Topher, too. That's his first touchdown this year, right?
Yes. Mulvaney's kick is up and good. And with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game, the Panthers have answered with another touchdown, and they lead the Lancers by 10, 28-18. For Ryan Benko, that's his 6th touchdown pass of the season, first touchdown of the season for Topher Ryan. There was another Panther right behind him that looked open too.
They were
nice job on the fake and the read there for Holliston.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the point of the ball game now where, you're down 2 possessions. You got a Norton team over there that loves to run the ball. But, tonight, Elliott's shown he can throw the ball a little bit too. You can't take a lot of time off the clock because you need to have 2 possessions, score in 2 possessions, and hold Holliston on their possession. So I think we've already used 1 or 2 timeouts also. There's no 2-minute warning in high school ball. So, the clock right now is in Holliston's favor. What they got to do right here is prevent any type of a long run back, get down there and tackle the ball, and give Norton a long field.
Holliston's up by 2 scores.
Boy,
and 6 minutes on the clock. The way Norton's been moving the ball, maybe not enough time. Mulvaney's kick comes down at the 17-yard line. And a nice quick coverage there by the Panthers. Number 15, Anthony Del Ponte. And Lancers are going to start at their 32-yard line.
Well, Holliston's in a fight tonight, that's for sure. And Norton has given them all they can handle.
Well, this is the 4th quarter, and this is where the fighting counts. Panthers answered the Lancer punch. And the handoff to big number 44, McNichol, but he's tackled right away. 2-yard gain.
McNichol on the carry, tackled by number 55, John Cannell.
Cannell with the tackle.
And this is where when the quarterback has to go over all the time, he has to run over there, get the play, come back out, and then tell the team to play. You're wasting precious time.
Elliott tries to run the option off the left side, but the Panthers having none of it.
Well, what had happened there is he saw the opening. He did that little hop thing that he did down on the other end of the field when he scored the touchdown, I think, when he did that, right? Or pretty close anyway.
He picked up a first down.
Yeah, got a first down. And he tried to do that little hop thing again. He got caught halfway up in the air and brought down. So third down, this is 4-down territory no matter where they are, because there's no way that they're going to be able to give Holliston the ball back with 4 minutes and needing 2 possessions.
And we're down under 5 minutes to go. 3rd down and 6. Elliott rolls out, fires, and we got a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be
behind the play.
Yeah, it's going to be 15 yards probably for roughing the passer on top of the nice catch on a guy who was really well covered there. And that's Holliston can't do that. See, you can't give him. You're doing 2 things here. You're giving him 15 yards, and you stop the clock.
And it's 15 on the end of the play, which would have been a first down at the 45. So that's going to give the Lancers 1st and 10 at the Panther 40 with 4:42 to go here in the 4th quarter. Panthers leading by 10, 28-18.
I said in the beginning of the game, Tom, you have to play a clean game. You have to, I don't care who you're playing against. You have to play that kind of game where you don't have the penalties and the turnovers. And right now, Holliston gave Norton a chance here.
Elliott, handoff to Junkins.
Wow.
And Junkins able to keep his feet, move forward to the 35. So it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Brought down by number 44, Connor
Mulvaney on the tackle.
2nd down, 5. Ball's far at the 35-yard line.
And what they're trying to do over there is the Norton coaching staff is trying to conserve their timeouts for when Holliston has the ball. But they're taking a lot of time off the clock here. 4 minutes left to go in the game. Here's the pass.
Elliott rolls, fires, high, incomplete. Stops the clock with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. 3rd down and 5.
I think that was Sean Keaston there again. Well, let me see.
He gets upfield very fast.
Very, very fast. And he's in there all the time.
I thought he did a nice job, really. He sort of took an outside approach, which meant that if Elliott pump faked, he wasn't going to be able to go around him to the outside.
To his left, yeah.
So 3rd and 5 for the Lancers.
Here comes Holliston again.
And we got a flag, and that's going to back up Norton 5 yards.
And once again, as they've done on several other drives, that really hurts them, because 3rd and short, and you get, even if you don't make much yardage, you get 4th and short. Now you're back to 3rd and 10.
Well, you know how things tighten up here at the end of the ball game, Jay.
They do.
You know you can't make it. You talk about playing mistake-free football. That's in your head. No mistakes, no mistakes. Get off the ball fast, make the good block, and you twitch, and it costs your team 5 yards. So 3rd and 10 for Norton. Elliott fakes to Reynolds. Down the middle of the field. Good coverage there on Kersley by Seymour. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 10.
And Holliston's putting some pressure on. That Norton offensive line is doing a pretty good job of keeping Elliott clean. But, Elliott's had to roll a couple of times, and he obviously likes going to his right. He's a right-handed passer. So Holliston may want to. You have to watch the back side of the field, the other side of the field, but you may want to watch this right-hand side of the field.
Timeout Norton. We'll take a break. All right, 4th down and 10, 3:44 to go. Panthers lead by 10. Play of the game, number 1.
This is it, yeah, right here. I mean, if obviously it's the biggest play of the game if Norton doesn't make it. If they do make it, well, we'll see what happens. 3:44 left to go in this game.
Elliott rolls out, looks downfield,
Oh,
and the Panthers finally get to Elliott. Number 51, David Harding.
That is a coverage sack, and I'm going to tell you why. Because for the second time tonight, they wanted to run that screen pass, and Henry Norton stepped right in front of the receiver, right in front of him, and made Elliott pull the ball down. Of course, Holliston on the blitz. I love Coach Athy blitzing on that. Holliston on the blitz. They came in and they made the great tackle. But that is what you call a coverage sack, when the coverage gives the defensive line and the linebackers time to make the sack. Great job all around by that defense.
Absolutely right, Jay. And in a blitzing situation, for Norton to stay on the receiver and not go to the quarterback. Panthers go to war. Norton flips it to Seymour. Seymour to the second level. He's down close to a first down, maybe just a yard short. So Holliston's going to ground and pound here with a 10-point lead and 3 minutes to go in the game. Let's see when Coach McCarthy reaches into his timeouts and starts taking them. I guess he's going to let this one run. Well, we know how this scenario goes. Panthers slow it down. Now Norton's going to come to center. He should look downfield at the back judge. Back judge raises his hand. 10 seconds to go. Pitch this time to Armstrong. Nice hold by the offensive line. He's got the first down.
Yeah, that was a little surprise by Holliston that I don't think that Norton was ready for. Norton expected, as he did several times already tonight, he expected Henry Norton at the quarterback to just force it forward with the guys pushing him ahead. But that time he kind of went back to his back and broke up the line a little bit and let him get the first down.
Down at 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Clock running in the game. Norton gets the signal to go. Pitch to Armstrong. Left side, following Salorier. Armstrong fighting, keeping his feet, not down yet. Panthers join in and push him across the 20-yard line.
Well, that's almost unfair. One Jake Armstrong against 5 other kids. That's an unfair
advantage. That is unfair. They
Armstrong.
should get a few more guys.
Yeah. That's a heck of a run there by Jake. And that's a talented team over there. That Norton kids trying to bring them down. They're big, tough kids. And Jake Armstrong's a big, tough kid, too, and he proved it right there, lugging those kids around.
So Panthers have 1st and 10 at the 19. Clock starts winding with 2:12 to go in the game.
Yeah, and I don't think they're at a point here where they're going to start calling timeouts. I'd be surprised at this point now.
Well, you got to get a second down and long before you even think about it. They pitch it to Armstrong. Left side, follows Salorier. Inside the 10 and inside the 5 is going to be 1st and goal, Holliston. Well, remember you talked earlier in the game about Norton finding something off of the left side of the Panther defense. Well, Holliston's got something working on the left side, on the right side of the Lancer defense.
Well, and it's called an offensive line, and that's what they've got working right now because Holliston, that offensive line, everybody wants to get this touchdown right here. And I don't know if Coach Kyler would just take a knee here, or if they will go in and try and score.
1:31 to go. 1st and goal from the 4. Pitch to Armstrong.
Down right at like the half
down
foot
at the
line.
1.
I've got to tell you, Tom, I'm really impressed with the way Norton came out here tonight. I really am. I saw a little bit of the way they've played some of their other games in the past and everything, and I didn't think it would be this close of a game, and I give them a heck of a lot of credit. They really played very, very well.
So 2nd and goal for Holliston. Ball at the 1. Pitch, Armstrong, left side, touchdown, Panthers! So Jake Armstrong with his 6th touchdown of the season, the 8th of his Panther career. And Holliston is in control. 37 seconds to go, 34-18.
Well, I got to tell you, Tom, this is really, really good ball game here. And, you know, as I said before, I talked to you a little bit about we'll have a Mulvaney's kick here first.
Mulvaney's kick is good. He's 5 for 5 on the night. Panthers 35, Lancers 18.
As I said, you know, Norton did the same thing kind of tonight that they did in that Medfield game where they come out, they do a good drive, they do a lot, and then all of a sudden something happens at the end of a drive. And you know, one of the things that happens when you have an offense like that and you're dependent on 15 or 20 plays to score a touchdown, and it takes you that long, these are kids. Something's going to go wrong somewhere. So if you take that long, something goes wrong, and usually at the end of the drive that something goes wrong, and that happened, 2 or 3 times here tonight where they got down and they had a penalty or something happened in the interception or whatever, and that was basically the story of the game. Holliston, on the other hand, had a couple penalties that, they'll clean up. They'll go clean those up.
Everything didn't go their way tonight, but they kept their heads, kept going in there. And shout out to the coaching staff. Andrea Murphy, the web coach and president of Holliston Football, Todd Kiley, Jim Perry, Bob Murphy, Paul Athey, Nick Stevens, Jonathan Marshall, Joe Santos, Kevin Lamarck, Dan Kittredge, and Nicole Siglin, the athletic trainer. You know, they work as a team, and they know what they're doing. They know what to do when their team is down, when they need a little kick or a little encouragement, when they need to keep their heads. And I think they've coached this team through, one of those slugfests, where, it was a tough fought game back and forth. They played their pieces well and just had to be patient.
And, if you're in the pros, they call a game like this a trap game. And a trap game occurs when you come off a big win against a rival, and you're going to be going up next week against a team that may or may not be undefeated, so you're going to have to beat them. And I don't say they took the game lightly. I don't mean that at all, but that's the definition of a trap game. You come out and you say, okay, we should get this one, and then we'll move on. Well, Norton's tough. I told you at the beginning of the game, the Norton kids are always big, and they're always very tough. And they give Holliston all they could handle tonight.
Well, just looking back at the stats of last year's game, Holliston won 28-7. Jack Barrett went 4 for 14 passing. Now, that didn't happen on an easy,
No.
It was not an easy night for Jack Barrett against these Norton Lancers. But you got to persevere. You got to find what works. The Panthers were able to run for 200 yards, got a key turnover on that interception at the goal line.
Yeah.
Remember that jump pass
Yep.
that the fullback of Norton threw? You talk about things going wrong. They were running and finally tried to jump pass right at the goal line, but got picked off. So 5, 4, 3, and that's the ball game. The Panthers beat the Lancers 35-18. Well, we talked about it, Jay. Great victory by the Panthers tonight. They moved to 3-1. They'll face Medfield next Friday night. Homecoming at 6 o'clock. And now Los with the final lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. The final score from Committee and Field. Panthers run away with it in the end, 35-18 over the Lancers from Norton. This was really a tight game on the stat sheet all the way up until the end. Panthers with 308 total yards of offense. Norton with 271. 125 yards passing, 183 yards rushing for the Panthers, 111 yards passing, 160 yards rushing for Norton. Both teams with a very good performance by their defensive lines, each team with a sack tonight. But Holliston with 3 tackles for loss, Norton with 2. Very fun game to watch in the line trenches tonight for both of these teams. Third down conversions, Holliston was 2 of 6 on the night. Norton was 6 of 11, so they were very efficient on third down. And time of possession, despite the score, Holliston actually trailing in the time of possession, 19 minutes, 26 seconds to 24 minutes, 34 seconds for the Lancers. For the Panthers, Ryan Benko was 7 of 12 for 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, just 1 interception. The leading rusher tonight was Jake Armstrong. He had a really good game, 69 yards on 8 carries, including that touchdown at the end of the game there. Henry Naughton also with a rushing touchdown, and Tristan Benson with a rushing touchdown as well. Dylan Ibbotson with 21 yards and Brad Seymour with 29 yards rushing. The leading receiver for the Panthers was Brad Seymour. He had 64 yards on 1 catch. It was that big 64-yard touchdown catch. Other big receivers for the Panthers tonight were Michael Nash with 23 yards and Jake Armstrong with 17 yards. 2 catches apiece for those two. For the Lancers of Norton, quarterback Tyler Elliott was 6 of 13 for 111 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Great game from the running back, Lucas Combs. He had 91 yards on 11 carries, including 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. He really kept the Lancers in the game all night. And the leading receiver for the Panthers was McKinley. He had 29 yards on 2 catches. Defensively for the Panthers, what can you say about Alex Kelly? 9 tackles on the night, including he also had a big pass breakup in the game. And then Brad Seymour with the big interception for the Panthers. But we also had some really good pass breakups from Alex Kelly and Michael Nash. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HHS Football, and that's the lowdown.
Well, Tom, this is a really good game by Holliston. They played a very tough team out here, the Norton team, and now they got to go out and get ready for two teams that came into tonight's game. Medfield and Hopkinton. They came to tonight's game undefeated. This is going to be a tough time for Holliston. But they're going to have to come through to do this. They're going to play next week. It's 6:00 here, and then homecoming. Then they got a week off, and then they go play over at Hopkinton. So they got a lot of prep time to do that. But want to thank everybody tonight. Want to thank Lois for a nice job on the stats, and our crew downstairs. We have Don Cronin and Bruce Guilfoyle down in the truck down there. We have the great Christian Boudet down there on the camera. Nice job down there. And up top, we got the lovely Lisa, and she brought Steve Hedrick up there with us. So
little love fest up there.
Yeah, well, you know, those things happen. But I want to thank everybody. Nice job, Tom, to you. And we wish everybody a great week, and we'll see you next week here. Final score, Holliston 35 and Norton 18. Good night.
Good night, everybody.